So guys, as a reviewer, I feel like it's my job to really help you guys out. There's no denying the fact that fragrances are expensive, and if you don't really know what you're doing, it can be pretty easy to waste your money. And there's also no denying the fact that fragrances do get old, they do kind of go out of style, they get dated. So my goal with this video is to give you some fragrances I think you should not buy here in 2019, almost in 2020, which is crazy. And I'm going to give you some alternatives of fragrances that you should buy, which I think are better than the ones that I'm telling you not to buy. So maybe it'll kind of help you out if you're in the market for some of these fragrances, just kind of give you some alternatives of fragrances which I think are better, and just kind of give you some other options to some of the ones I'm about to talk about. And really quickly, before we jump into the list, if you're new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also turn on the post notifications button and like the video. I'm trying to put out as much content as I can for you guys. So all I ask for in return is a simple like and subscribe. And of course, doing all that, make sure these videos show up in your YouTube feed and you get notified of when they actually go live. So it helps out me in the long run, it helps out you guys. Everyone wins here. So guys, with that out of the way, let's go and jump right into the video, starting off with the first fragrance I think you should not purchase. That one is Dior Homme. So Dior Homme really kind of paved the way for a lot of the iris-based fragrances out there for men. I get it, I know, I love this fragrance. So before everyone gets their pitchforks out and crucifies me in the comments, let me come in and tell you which fragrance I think you should buy. That one simply is Jerome Intense. So there's no denying the fact that I'm a huge fan of the Dior Homme line. I own all of them, and Jerome Intense is probably one of my favorites among them. I absolutely love this fragrance. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I think it's one of those designer fragrances that everyone should have in their collection. So why should you buy this one over the regular Dior Homme? You know, some people are going to argue that the regular Dior Homme is more versatile because it's a little bit more fresh and things like that, which you would be right. It is more versatile because of the fact that it's not as powdery and as sweet. But at the end of the day, what you're really looking for here with Jerome Intense is not something that's versatile. It's not something that everyone is going to like, you know, mass pleasing or anything like that. Really, you're just looking at a fragrance that is a masterpiece. And at the end of the day, I just think you're getting better bang for your buck here with this one. Sure, it's not as versatile, but to be honest with you, who really cares? This one is superior in scent, I believe, because it really takes the iris to the next level with some cocoa in there. And overall, you know, this one just is more unique. It really kind of takes the iris DNA to the max and really kind of is what helped the Dior Homme line stand out, even though this one came out first, you know, and it does still deserve love. But I hardly reach for this one. I really don't wear the regular one that often. I do find myself reaching for this one a lot more in the fall and winter. So that's the first one on this list. I would say don't buy a Dior Homme and instead just go ahead for the Intense version. Alright guys, up next on the second fragrance you shouldn't buy, and that one is Creed Invictus Cologne. So I actually don't have a bottle of this one, so I'm really sticking by this thought of not buying this scent. So I'll just put up a picture, or better yet, you can just look up a picture if you want to see what the bottle looks like. So I say don't buy Creed Invictus Cologne and instead just buy the regular Invictus. I mean, it's that simple. You know, Invictus Cologne kind of had a love or hate release. Kind of similar to Viking, there are people out there who are praising the hell out of it, and there are people out there who were hating on it and dragging it through the mud. And for me, you know, I really didn't like it that much. I did do a first impressions video, or like a first impressions review. You can watch that if you'd like, but I wasn't all that impressed. For me, and to my nose, it basically takes that Invictus DNA and puts like the Chanel Allure Homme Sport type of feel over top of it. So it doesn't smell bad by any means, but it's definitely nothing different. I mean, yeah, it's a lighter version of Invictus, we get it. I just don't see that being necessary for me. You know, I'm always going to end up reaching for the regular one anyway. I just feel this one's superior. I mean, I know why Creed did it. I don't blame them for trying to release a lighter version. I personally think it would have been way smarter to release like an Invictus Extrait. I've been saying this for a long time now. You know, they have changed the formula over the years to a point now where Invictus now smells completely different than what it did back in the day. So why not release an Invictus Extrait, give the people what they want, give them, you know, a darker, heavier feel of Invictus in an actual Extrait concentration rather than an EDP. Again, that's just my 2 cents, that's just my opinion, that's what I wish they would do. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, who knows. I just know for me personally, really wouldn't recommend you to buy Invictus Cologne. I sure haven't, and I really don't plan on it, at least not anytime soon. That's just kind of my 2 cents. Moving on to the third fragrance that I think you should not purchase, that is Vintage CH Men. So yes, we're going back to the whole reformulations talk here with this. There's, I can't really help it. I didn't start the reformulations talk. I didn't start the hype behind these older batches. I'm just relaying the message to you, so don't shoot the messenger here. There is a lot of talk about the reformulations. People talk about the red ribbon CH Min compared to the newer kind, and it's pretty expensive, right? If you're looking for these older versions of CH Min, it's going to be going for a pretty penny, especially on eBay and things like that, where prices are crazy anyway, with a lot of inflation there. So my personal opinion, don't buy it if it's at a ridiculous price. Don't succumb to that stupid price inflation that people are doing for this vintage stuff. Instead, I would say just outsmart them and buy Bentley Momentum Intense. Now, by all means, if you can find a vintage bottle of CH Min for a good price, like, I don't know, $50, $60, $70 for 100 mil, I would say go for it then at that price, because that's basically around the same as the newer bottles. But if it's going to be in the upper 100s, I would just say pass and go with Momentum Intense. Done a full review on this one. I've talked about this one quite a bit on the channel. Really good alternative to these older versions of CH Min, and in some cases I actually prefer Bentley Momentum Intense over CH Min, because this one has like an ambroxan accord to it instead of like a leathery sugary type of feel. I mean, you still get that same type of smell as CH Min, but this one goes in a slightly different direction, but still is very close to CH Min, and this one actually performs better too, which is a good thing. So again, for my personal opinion, a lot of the prices on these older bottles of CH Min are going to be crazy, and if you end up wanting to get your nose on what this smells like and the prices are crazy, you can't find a good price on it, definitely go for this one. Around 40 bucks or so. Carry it on my website, chaosfragrances.com. Really solid buy. Bentley fragrances are really good for the price, so you're not going to go wrong with it. Quality is great, performs good, smells fantastic, and I say it's a great alternative to CH Min. Alright guys, up next on fragrances I think you shouldn't buy. This one is Aqua de Jo Pour Homme, just the original. It's 2019, this stuff has been out for a long time now. Chances are if you go into one of your friends' bathrooms and they aren't a cologne collector, they just have one or two fragrances that they wear throughout the year, they're probably more than likely going to have this type of bottle sitting on their bathroom sink, right? This stuff is everywhere, it's been out for a long time. And with all the reformulations that have happened, with how much different this fragrance is now compared to when it first came out, there's honestly no point in really buying it. So instead, what I recommend you buy, I just go with these two, Aqua de Jo Profumo and Aqua de Jo Essenza. So I'm including them both just because I know I'm going to get people asking about Essenza. I don't talk about Essenza that much, and that's simply just because I don't like it as much. I prefer Profumo over Essenza. I've said that multiple times in videos. I've always preferred Profumo over Essenza. I just love the smoky accord that this one has. It really goes in a completely different direction than the original Aqua de Jo. And this one is different too, but in my opinion, not quite as much. This one really kind of pushes it a little bit, goes further in a different direction. I just love the incense in the scent. I love the smoky feel. I just love how sexy and alluring it is. Perfect for summer nights out. So my personal pick would be Profumo, but again, I'm including Essenza in here just because I know I'm going to have people ask. Both are great, and both are 10 times better than the original Aqua de Jo. And of course, people are going to ask about Aqua de Jo Absolute. That one smells nice, kind of has like an Invictus Aqua type of vibe going on. Again, I still prefer these two. Highly recommend you check these out over Aqua de Jo. Honestly, just don't buy that one at all. I recommend absolutely no one to ever buy the original Aqua de Jo anymore. It just doesn't hold up at all. It's really kind of a shame and a ripoff of what they've done with the scent, and the fact that they're still selling it just with how much weaker it is compared to what it was. Just don't buy it. Just please don't. Please do not buy Aqua de Jo. Buy this one instead. Alright, and up next we have Tom Ford Costa Azzurra Aqua. So I've really been kind of going back and forth with this one. I really don't recommend you buy the Aqua version. I would say at the end of the day, just go with the original. Just go with the original Costa Azzurra. This one is a lighter version of Costa Azzurra, right? Aqua makes sense. Lighter, a little bit more fresh. I would just say at the end of the day, just go with the original. I really like the added depth that the original Costa Azzurra has. That's why I like it so much. There aren't that many marine fragrances out there with the type of depth and just complexity and smell that Costa Azzurra has. And to me, I just feel like they take some of that away with the Aqua version, and that's not bad in a sense if you want a lighter version of the scent to wear out, maybe a little bit more casually, maybe in a little bit more heat if you want to push it a little bit more, kind of use this one as a sport fragrance, you can do that. But I would say for most of you out there who just want to pick up one, just go with the original. I mean, yeah, the Aqua is a little bit cheaper, just like with, you know, a lot of their Aqua scents like Neroli, Portofino, Aqua, and so on, it is a little bit cheaper, but I would say just go with the original. I do think this one is better once, you know, I actually really thought about it. I like the depth, I just like the complexity of it. At the end of the day, both are good, but still, I would just say cross this one out. Kind of unnecessary in my opinion. And yes, of course, this is just my opinion, boys. Alright, coming up next, this one's gonna be tough, fellas. Invictus Aqua 2016. It has come to the point where I say, don't buy it anymore. Don't buy it anymore. Don't buy Invictus Aqua 2016. No, I'm not saying that because I'm trying to hoard it all to myself. I have my fair share of bottles. I'm down to 3 now. I ended up selling one off a while ago. I'm good. I got enough. So I'm not saying it because I'm trying to keep it all for myself. I'm saying it mostly just because I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in how these fragrances have to get inflated in price as much as they do. It just sucks, and I can't recommend any of you boys to go out there and spend that type of money on a designer scent. You know, over 150 bucks for 100 ml of a Paco Rabanne. It's just plain ridiculous. So here in 2019, here in 2020, we're not buying Invictus Aqua 2016 anymore, boys. We're moving on to a new fragrance. We're evolving here, guys. We're moving on, and instead, I recommend if you want to get close to this scent without paying that type of money, just go with this one. Aqua Intense by Parfums Vintage. So I know some people are gonna say, oh well, the price of that Parfums Vintage is just as expensive as the Invictus Aqua 2016, and I would disagree. I mean, if you look at the price of this, it is up there in price. It's not a cheap clone, but still, it's way more affordable than if you go look on eBay and on some people on Facebook who are selling bottles of this. You know, it is definitely the better route to go here with this one. If you want to get as close as you can to the 2016 Invictus Aqua without paying for it, this is what you're going to want to go with. But if you don't care about that, you just want Invictus Aqua DNA, just buy the 2018. So I guess this one can have 2 spots. Don't buy this, and instead buy Aqua Intense or the 2018, just because I know people will still complain about the price point of Aqua Intense, which again, I can't control the prices of these fragrances. I'm just giving you good alternatives to them. So here again, either this one or the 2018, depending on how much money you want to spend. Of course, with the 2018, you're going to be sacrificing performance. That's kind of what you would expect. But at the end of the day, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So guys, that was it for this video. That were some fragrances I recommend you not to buy anymore here in 2019 going into 2020, and instead I give you some alternatives to them which I think are better in the long run. So let me know down below in the comments what you think of this video. Did you hate this video? Do you hate me for saying that I shouldn't buy some of your favorite fragrances? Do you love this video? Do you love me for saying I shouldn't buy some of the fragrances that you hate? Right? Just let me know down below in the comments, because I can kind of anticipate getting mixed feedback on this type of video, which is fine. Again, at the end of the day, that's just my personal opinion, just the same as you have your own opinion. You know, at the end of the day, no one is right or wrong, right? I do have my opinion. Just because I'm a reviewer doesn't mean that my opinion is right. I think people kind of tend to forget that. They think that what I'm saying is 100% factual and they get upset about it, when in reality it's not. I'm just voicing my opinion to an audience that I have. And if you have your own opinion, which I'm sure you do, you can voice that opinion to your own audience. And if you don't have one, make one. That's going to do it, guys. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to leave a like down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. That's all I got for this one, guys. I'm going to see you later. Peace out.